It's likely that you have reports that you need to run on a regular basis. You may also need to distribute these reports at the same time. By combining the powerful features of Sage Intelligence and the Windows Task Scheduler, you can set up your reports to run unattended. This saves you time since you only have to set up your schedule once, and your reports will be automatically available for you to view when and where you want. In this example, I have a dashboard report that I would like to have run at the end of each month. We will follow a three-step process to set up the schedule for the report. The first is to set the output location. This is the location where the report will be saved each time it is run. Next, we will generate a scheduler command. A scheduler command is the code that Windows will use to run the report. Lastly, we will create a scheduled task, adding our scheduler command and setting the time and frequency when my report will be run. Once we have created the task, we'll also look at how we can include distribution so that the report can be shared with the people we want simultaneously. Let's get started. With the Report Manager open and your report selected, show the advanced properties for it. Then, in the Generate Output File field, type in or use the ellipsis button to navigate to the location where you would like your file to be saved. You will also need to give your file a name. In this case, I want to have my report saved to a Reports folder which is on my desktop, and I'm going to give it the name Monthly Management Report. I'm also going to append the month name system variable to the name. Now, when the report is saved, it will include the current month's name. This way, I won't overwrite any of my reports, and I'll be able to identify which month the report is for. Remember to click Apply to save your changes. And if you'd like to take a look at the other system variables available to you, you can do so by selecting the Tools tab and clicking System Variables. You may also be happy to know that the path you give your file doesn't have to be on your local machine. You could also save your report to a local network drive, or even to the cloud, for example, by saving to a OneDrive folder linked to your computer. The next step in our process is to generate a scheduler command. With your report selected, open the Tools tab and then click Scheduler Command. You can also do this by right-clicking your report and selecting Generate Scheduler Command. If your report includes parameters, then you'll be given a chance to enter them. Keep in mind that these parameters may need to be specific for each run of your report, and means that you may need to use system variables for them. For my management report, I need to include the current fiscal year start date, current period end date, fiscal year, and budget code. I'm only worried about the current year, so I'm going to use the ellipsis button to select the start date of my current fiscal year. Since I'm setting my report up to run on a monthly basis and want it to show data for the period it is run in, I need to use a dynamic value for the current period end date. By using the month end system variable, current period end date will be populated with the last day of the month the report is run in. I can then use the ellipsis buttons to select the current fiscal year and budget code. Click OK to continue. A window will open showing the scheduler command, and at the same time it will be copied to the Windows clipboard. This makes it easy to paste it into our scheduled task later. Click OK to close the window. We can now create a scheduled task. To create a scheduled task, you'll need to open the Windows Task Scheduler. To do this, open your Control Panel and select System and Security. Then click on Administrative Tools and then open the Task Scheduler. Since you may set up a number of scheduled tasks for Sage Intelligence, the first thing you might want to do is create a separate folder to keep things neat and tidy. Select the Task Scheduler library object in the navigation pane, and then click New Folder under Actions on the right of the window. Give your folder a name and click OK. Now to create your task, select the folder you've just added and click on Create Task. Give your task a name and description, and then adjust any of the security settings if you need to. Then click the Actions tab and click on New to add a new action. Right-click in the field under Program or Script and select Paste. The scheduler command will be added to the field and is what will be executed when the task begins. Click OK and then click Yes to confirm that you would like the scheduler command to be run with the arguments that are included. The last thing to do is set a trigger for the task which will determine when the task is run. So click on the Triggers tab. Click New to add a new trigger and adjust the settings according to the schedule you want. I've set mine to run at 5 p.m. on the last day of every month, starting at the end of this month. Click OK when you're finished and OK again to complete the task. If you selected Run whether user is logged on or not under the security settings, you will now be asked to enter the password for your user account. Enter it and click OK. This will allow the task to be run if you are not signed in. Your schedule is now set up and your report will run at the desired time. Now, instead of having to run the report out at the end of each month, I can just go to my reports folder and a new report will be there. One thing to remember is that the workstation where the scheduled task has been created must be switched on at the time scheduled for the task. Also, it's important that the account used for the task has the necessary permissions to access all resources required for running and saving the report. Apart from having the report saved to my reports folder, I'd also like it to be sent to my management team. To do this, you will need to set up distribution for your report or make some changes to your current options. I've run out my report. Let's first take a look at the distribution settings. If you plan to distribute your report via email and use your Microsoft Outlook profile, take note that Outlook will need to be running at the time your scheduled task runs. If you can't be sure that Outlook will be running, then it's advised that you use an SMTP or Exchange server. Next, let's move on to Manage Instructions. I've already set up an instruction that will email my report to my management team. You will need to set up one or more instructions according to your needs. Then, lastly, let's take a look at Select Instructions. Once you have selected the worksheets you would like to send, along with the instructions you would like to use, make sure that you select the Scheduler option at the bottom of the window. This will ensure that your distribution is included when your scheduled task is run. In order for your Select Instruction options to be saved, you will need to save the template back to the report in the Report Manager. If you would like to watch a video on setting up distribution or view other videos in this series, go to youtube.com/sageintelligence. Also, connect with us at sageintelligence.com and sageintelligencecommunity.com, or view our online courses at sageintelligenceacademy.com. Just to let you know, we love feedback, so if you found this video useful, please like it and share it on your social media channels.